Ascot for the running of the Swan Export Lager Handicap over 1,400 metres. Second leg of the daily double. Runners milling behind the barrier at the moment, and big moves in the betting ring for Godimus and the Geraldton horse Sugar Ray Gala. Despite looking a bit messy, I thought Ansemius still had a bit of a chance in this, but I'm now going to tip Sugar Ray Gala to beat Ansemius. Over to you, Darren, at the 1,400 metre mark.
Well, Frank, he's a big coarse-looking type of galloper by Bold Invader. A big ribby-looking individual, Sugar Ray Gala, who's created a big impression up there on the Sunshine Coast at Geraldton. He's had 3 starts for 3 wins. He won a maiden. He then graduated to a Class 5 and beat more experienced horses. Dropped back into a Class 2, won effortlessly. And he makes his Metropolitan debut with Gary Hall, a Geraldton-based jockey in the saddle. In the colours of trainer Clive Lauritsen, the gold. Maltese cross on the black with the gold cap. And at 2.05 is the ruling favourite. 2.45 Godimus, who looks a picture. There's little Pat Carberry in the colours of trainer Fred Kersley. Drawn alongside of him in the blue and white is See the Distance. Ansemius drawn close in near the inside, wearing blinkers today for the first time. 2.60 for number 4, See the Distance. $4.30 for Platinum Medal. There's good tips around for Platinum Medal today as well. And down the bottom, Ansemius, who has drawn the coveted 1 alley at 3.90. Just waiting for the last 2 horses to move up to the gates. Sugar Ray Gala, one of them. Paul Harvey there with the goggles, sitting up on top of the peak of his red cap. Ansemius's rider having a look at the action which is going on behind the stalls. Sovereign West is the horse which is causing this delay. Raced in Kalgoorlie for the majority of the season, trained by Neil Catlow, and he graduated from about a Class 2 horse to top class company in the Goldfields. Overcoming a few little leg problems too. Sovereign West. Now Gary Hall is about to bring this big robust looking galloper by the name of Sugar Ray Gala, a horse who has brought with him a big following. Now they're all set to go. Sugar Ray Gala completes the line. And assistant starter Mel Stewart will send them off in the second leg of the double. Stand by for a start. Still some concern being expressed for one of those horses drawn wide out. Waiting for the all clear signal to be given from behind. There's the red light. Set to go. They're racing. Not a bad break, although Spock seemed to dwell just after the start. Sink or Swim, Godimus and Sovereign West came out best of all, with Prad Napa wide out, hard ridden. They're being followed on settling down by Sugar Ray Gala, getting into a lovely spot outside of See the Distance. Burswood hard ridden, going up deep out on the track from Ansemius over on the inside. And they're being closely followed by New Revelation. A length and a half further back, Forever Generous, and then came Platinum Medal over on the outside. A length and a half, Desperado, Monty Metro, Moscow, Spock, and last of all is Monmouth Park as they spring right out at the 800. Sovereign West on the outside goes up and draws clear now from Sink or Swim. A length and a half to Prad Napa, occupying third place ahead of Godimus, being niggled at by little Patrick Carberry. Then Burswood going around the outside of Sugar Ray Gala, who tended to lose his spot, coming to the 500 outside of Ansemius. A length to New Revelation, who's been no closer than 3 deep, and taking off wide out now is Monty Metro. See the Distance held up behind horses coming to the turn. Forever Generous gained a miracle inside run, and they're being followed further back on the outside by New Revelation as heads turn at the 250. Monty Metro raced up and joined Sink or Swim. Between them Godimus, and now the Chestnut with the white blaze. See the Distance is starting to run on gamely. See the Distance goes out after Monty Metro, joined him in the twinkling of an eye, and he comes away, See the Distance, to win second up. See the Distance first, close for second. Sugar Ray Gala got going late and joined Monty Metro. Godimus ran fourth. In behind them, Platinum Medal, then Desperado, Ansemius. They were followed by Sink or Swim. Forever Generous over on the inside. Desperado, then New Revelation, Spock, Burswood wide out. Sovereign West, Prad Napa did nothing. And then came Moscow with Monmouth Park, last for most of the trip. Stand by for placings. Joined in the twinkling of an eye by See the Distance. 2 runs for 2 wins in this campaign. He scored first up on December 7. He sweated up very badly before the race, which must have been of some concern to his supporters and trainer Colin Webster. But under hard riding from lightweight apprentice Peter Nucky, this horse with the white star and snip on the end of his nose. Races past Monte Mitro. Go Demas behind them with Sugar Ray Gala. You can't see in the picture, charging home late. And just keep that horse in mind, Sugar Ray Gala. He is going to win some races. See the distance, number 4, to pay $2.60 after the second leg of the double. And what about that, Frank?
Well, a terrific performance by See the Distance, well ridden by Peter Nucky as per usual, but was held up coming to the corner, but the mare's flown home to beat Monte Mitro, who did look the winner as it went 4 wide on the corner, and Sugar Ray Gala probably something beaten. We'll be back with correct weight and dividends in a moment. Right, back at Ascot after correct weight on the final event, the second leg of the daily double. The winner, number 4, See the Distance, P. Nucky, $2.60 and 95. Second, 12, Monte Mitro, $2.10. And third, number 16, Sugar Ray Gala, 95 cents. The Quinella, $28.15. The trifecta, $213.55. And the daily double, the combination Dawn Rampage, number 6 and 4, See the Distance, $10.60. And the quartet, numbers 4, 12, 16 and 1, paid $618.95. Join us again on Wednesday on 10 when we bring you the Perth Cup live at 3 p.m. We'll be back then.
The Perth Cup, presented by Emu Export Lager, Western Underwriters, Harry Dutton Mitsubishi, and Goodwood Bloodstock Spurswood Premier Yearling Sale.
Years of planning and thousands of kilometres go into preparing thoroughbreds for the most sought-after prize on the WA racing calendar. The Perth Cup, 105 years old and still going strong. It's the toughest test over 3,200 metres in the country, and it takes a horse with great heart to win the magnificent Perth Cup trophy. Who will it be in 1992? You'll find out on 10 Sports Action. And welcome to Ascot on Perth Cup Day 1992. Well, as you can see, a huge crowd on course this afternoon celebrating the arrival of a new year. They're tipping an attendance of about 30,000 today, and I would think the crowd wouldn't be too far short of that figure. It's a cloudy afternoon in Perth, temperature in the low to mid-20s, and today represents the climax of the WA Summer Racing Carnival. Hello everyone, I'm Peter Wenzel. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to our racing expert, Bernie Ryan.
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, viewers.
Well, the Cup's about 39 minutes away. Let's turn our attention to the first race we'll telecast this afternoon. This is the fourth event on the program, the Serenus Lustia Classic, a Group 3 race over 1,400 metres. As you can see, just a couple to move up. The tote favourite is number 2, Mount Angelo, at the present time showing $1.20 on the tote. Now, they're just about locked away. Let's cross to Darren McCauley then for a description of the fourth, the Serenus Lustia Classic.
Thank you, Peter. Final couple are about to move in. Ross Dew riderless behind the barrier stalls. Also to move along, Evil Lad Danzig. Tim Gossage is downstairs. And I just wonder if it's an ideal opportunity to cross down to Tim and get the latest betting information with a slight hold-up here at the barrier stalls.
Yes, thanks very much, Darren. 8-1, the top weight Rand show. The outright favourite is Mount Angelo at 5-4. The only one in the betting, apart from those top two, is Cavadori at 7-4. You'll find the favourite is number 2, Mount Angelo, Darren.
He's got a great record at 1,400 metres, Mount Angelo. $1.20 in the TAB favourite. Stand by. Should break at any tick of the clock. Light on. Signal given from behind. And they're racing. Reasonable start, although Very Regal was just a shade tardy to begin. Cavadori got away brilliantly from Evil Lad and Ross Dew. Danzig settling in 4th place, being closely followed by the favourite Mount Angelo, and Rancho going around them wide out. They're being followed by Be a Bandit, caught 3 off the fence, a length to Swift Pact, and Very Regal brings up the tail of the field. Near the 1,000, Cavadori slowed them down. Harvey's taken a vice-like grip of the grey. Cavadori pulling by a length over Rossdew with Evil Lad on the fence third, getting a charm run. Rancho fourth ahead of Beer Bandit, right behind them Mount Angelo. Danzig lost his spot in the field. Swift Pack are now going around them very regal as they come past the 650. The grey galloper from Geraldton, Cavadori leads the way. Cavadori by 3/4 of a length over Rossdew, moving up to the pacemaker's flanks on the fence third, Evil Lad. Beer Bandit's gone around Rancho to put him in a pocket, then Mount Angelo on the inside to Swift Pack, changing direction of the rail, very regal, and Danzig dropped out to be a conspicuous last as heads turned for home. The leaders had an easy run. Cavadori made the running by nearly a length over Evil Lad. Rancho third, and here's Mount Angelo taken to the outside, coming with a great run. Mount Angelo wide out, goes out after Evil Lad and Rancho. Mount Angelo at the 120, race clear from Evil Lad. Rancho can't do any better, and Mount Angelo's coming away with a great win in the Lustia Classic. Mount Angelo by 3 lengths. Second, Rancho, Evil Lad third. Danzig from last got going late to run fourth. Then came Swift Pack, followed by Beer Bandit. Cavadori knocked up in the field. Further back to Very Regal, and Rossdew is last of all.
So checking those numbers then after the fourth, the Serenus Lustia Classic, you'll find the winner is number 2, Mount Angelo. Ridden by Ian Albuino, second number 1, Rancho, and third number 7, Evil Lad. And Darren, on the 21st of December, the Raconteur Quality, we saw this horse very impressive that day and again today.
Certainly, Peter, he's a real class customer, this chestnut, the son of Slant, an imported stallion from America. Didn't have a lot of success with his progeny early on, but Mount Angelo and others have really put him on the map, although he is now standing at stud in Thailand, I'm led to believe. Mount Angelo now is unbeaten at 3 runs of 1,400 metres, and he does have a magnificent turn of foot. When Albuino went for him, there was plenty of acceleration there, a lot of horsepower, and he raced away with a conclusive win from Rancho. Evil Lad Danzig was an eye-catching fourth after losing his posse near the turn, and he straightened up last in the run to the judge.
Bernie, Mount Angelo got some distance back in the run, but he appreciates that 1,400 metres.
He does, Peter, but he was always travelling beautifully, and Ian Albuino rode him a great race. Came out at the right time and had the leaders covered all the way through, I thought.
Well, Cavadori was going for a hat-trick this afternoon, the grey. It did lead them into the straight, but obviously the 1,400 metres a fraction too long.
He appeared to take off on about the 600 and make a sprint home of it, and I think that probably brought Cavadori undone a little bit.
And what about the performance of Rancho this afternoon?
A good, honest performance.
Well, Danzig then was an eye-catching run too, I thought, with the American jockey David Nish on board. It did make up some ground, as called by Darren in the run home.
Yes, Peter, it's probably going to appreciate a little bit more ground.
So Mount Angelo started favourite on the tote at $1.20 for the win, and will return about 65 cents to place. You'll find the dividend for number 1, Rancho, 95 cents, and back in third place was Evil Lad, $1.05. Those totes are still unofficial. There's Mount Angelo returning to scale, and Ian Albuino, the successful jockey, the horse trained by Graham Webster Sr., who won the Perth Cup. This is Perth Cup Day, of course, in 1965 with Royal Coral. Let's cross now to Graham Webster with Tim Gossage in the mounting yard.
Well, Graham, a very impressive performance, has a very, very strong finishing burst.
Yes, he does. He's run very well again, and I think the secret of him is just riding him back the way Ian's cooling off on him, and I was very, very pleased with his performance.
What's the future hold now for the horse?
Well, I have nominated him for the George Moore on Saturday, but I'll just wait and see how he does overnight. He'll either run Saturday or go for a spell.
How does the horse rate amongst horses, Graham? You've trained and ridden many fine winners, including a Perth Cup. How does this horse rate, and is there a bright future ahead?
Well, yes, I'd say there's a bright future ahead for him, but I couldn't rate him with horses like Asian Bow or Starglow at present like that. You know, he's only a young horse, a 3-year-old, but he's done everything so far that I've asked of him.
Enjoy the rest of the carnival.
Thanks very much.
So Graham Webster talking there with Tim Gossage as Ian Albuino about to dismount and weigh in after the Serenus Lustia Classic, named after the former chairman, long-time chairman of the WA Turf Club, Sir Ernest Lustia. Well, as we've mentioned, a huge crowd on course celebrating the arrival of a new year, and on Perth Cup Day there's no shortage of fashion, festivity and fun. Here's some of the colour then at Ascot on Perth Cup Day 1992.
It's WA's premier race day. Ascot, jam-packed as the 1992 racing calendar swings into action.
Racing.
Today's cooler conditions attracting a huge crowd, racegoers revelling in the electric atmosphere that is Perth Cup Day. donning the Wednesday best, some in an extravaganza of colour and style, the bold and the beautiful, the sexy and the insane.
Things that make you go, Robbie Bob, break it down.
This is what the majority of the racegoers come for, a chance to try their luck at pulling in the dollars. It's here that the money talks and the bookies listen. Yeah, 5 each way.
Our grey says 30 to 5 each way.
It's a big crowd here, but there's a lot of small punters and sometimes they can confuse things. You look busier than what you actually are.
An 8-race program greeted Perth Cuppers today, but it's number 5 that has everyone talking and hoping.
I think Red Javelin will win the Perth Cup, yes.
Hot Tuna. Hot Tuna's the one, I think. Hot Tuna, Billabong, and Just Do It.
And what would Perth Cup Day be without the flair of fashions in the field? Weeks of competition reaching their climax today in the grand finale.
Yes, there's something special about Perth Cup Day. Bernie, you've won this big race twice. There's a buzz through the crowd again this afternoon.
Yes, Peter, it's a very exciting day, Perth Cup Day. It always is. The West Australian crowd get right behind the event, and it's exciting for everybody concerned.
We'll take this break on Perth Cup Day 1992 then, and be back with more after these messages.
Ward Peter's beaten into the straight. Sydney James is well clear of Eastwell and Alabang. Battling on under the whip. Filipinos next and Royal Enfield and Fine Print. Sydney James is going away to win with the greatest of possibility.
The Perth Cup, the way it used to be. The early days dominated by George Towton, a prominent publican. Towton won 6 Perth Cups from 1888 through to 1897. It was in 1892 that Towton actually owned, trained and rode the winner, Wandering Willie, who lumped 10 stone 5 or 66 kilos. 100 years on, it remains the weight carrying record in the Cup. The most successful owner of Perth Cup winners, however, is Patrick Connolly, who collected 7, including the 1904 Cup with Blue Speck, who went on to win a Melbourne Cup. Some of the early history then of this great race, which has been going now some 106 years. Let's check the totes then on the 4th event this afternoon. You saw it live on Channel 10, the Sir Ernest Lastia Classic, a Group 3 race, and won very impressively by number 2 Mount Angelo. Started favourite on the tote and has returned $1.20 and 65 cents the place. Second was number 1 Rancho, 95 cents, and third was 7 Evil Lad, $1.05. Correct weight has sounded, and they covered the distance, the 1,400 metres, in 1:23.12. Well, time now to look at the earlier races on Perth Cup Day 1992, and Darren McCauley is back with me. And Darren, let's go back to the top of the card then. The first event, the Genarch Handicap, named after the 1969 Perth Cup winner, and a big plunge here on number 3, Face the Odds.
A horse who our good friend Bertie Ryan had a great association with too. And Face the Odds was backed in at good prices and is a horse of the future. Look at him come between the 2 leaders from the 200-metre mark.
The thunder starting to come at her now. Face the Odds is now bullocking his way through between the 2 leaders, and the newcomer Face the Odds has bullocked his way into the open. Races past Days of Thunder, and Face the Odds comes away with an effortless win. Face the Odds by 2 lengths on either Days of Thunder or out by Club.
Face the Odds, some 12s were bet, and eventually the horse firmed into 4-1 onto the second event here, and probably the boil over of the carnival so far, Bernie, Lady Kariba. They did mention this horse might be Eastern States bound for the Golden Slipper, but disappointed this afternoon, put up a bit sore.
Yes, Peter, I thought it was never really travelling all that well in running. I thought it hung a little bit, if anything, and it could be a bit shinny.
Unbelievingly getting it inside runner. Now Sestich is riding along Lady Kariba. She's in no real danger. Unbelievingly is starting to fly home late. Oh, she's put in a few short ones, Lady Kariba, and Unbelievingly lunged at her and grabbed her. Unbelievingly has snatched victory.
So at 5's on, the favourite defeated in the second event. And Darren, the horse did undergo a vet's examination before they jumped.
Yes, she did. She was also noticeably stirred up going to the barrier. She was sweating profusely, dripping off the flanks, and she may have been a bit unsettled today. She seemed to get a leg cast in the stall. That's why she underwent the vet's examination. They always make liars of race callers, don't they, odds-on favourites, when you declare them almost unbeatable, 100 to go. Sure enough, on the scene comes one at more fancier odds, and there was support for Unbelievingly, who's a nice filly.
Yeah, good to see the Appleyard successful there too. On to race 3 then, the Magistrates Handicap. This horse won the Cup 2 years consecutively, 1981 and 1982.
Chestnut as they turn. Taravel race to the lead. At the 220, Taravel over 2 lengths to Market Assault. Here's Malavara. And down the outside, Trelawney Star. Taravel getting very weary. Down the outside, Market Assault and Malavara starting to overhaul Taravel. Malavara reached the lead and Malavara got in. Malavara beat Market Assault. Taravel third. Fourth home on the outside. Trelawney.
A great finish on Cup Day, Bernie.
Great finish, Peter. Taravel, I thought, was a good run. May have gone a fraction soon.
Well, let's check the totes then on the Perth Cup, the early tote call. We're still some 25 minutes away from the start in the Cup, and Ideal Cinnamon from Victoria, the top weight, showing $3.05. Mirror Magic the mare, $2.25. Acquired, $3.80. Number 6, Pocomoke City, well thought of on course today, $5.35. Let's go over the page then to number 8, Idle Chat, $11. Mountain Oak at $10.90. Beat Faloo at $10.75. And then some roughies down the bottom of that page. And let's check the price then on Red Javelin, number 18, showing $2. Darren.
Just as an omen too for punters following our coverage today, the winner of the first event on the program, the 2-year-old who made such a blazing debut, faced the odds, carried the same colours as Meliador did in 1979. And Mount Angelo, the winner of the previous race, he carried the colours of Royal Coral, who won the Cap back in about 1965 when ridden by Graham Webster, who trained Mount Angelo.
Well, the Castledines, of course, involved with that Cup win. Let's check the bookmakers betting then on the Perth Cup for 1992. Tim Gossage and Frank Wright standing by. And Tim, the bookmakers have taken a pounding so far, but to date hasn't been too bad.
Well, Peter, I wouldn't say that. The bookmakers have taken a pounding throughout the carnival, and also today there's been some big money landed on some earlier winners, and it's about 3-1, I think, the tote you mentioned, Red Javelin. It's much shorter in the ring. Frank Wright, an ex-bookmaker, and some of your mates have really copped it, haven't they, over the last few weeks?
And they're not getting much relief today, despite the fact Lady Kariba got beaten at 1-4. Tim, a lot of bookmakers would choose not to bet on that race because there wouldn't be much volume, but huge crowd here. They should have a chance, but there's not a big deal of money here. You know, they're all small players, and that's the way, the reflection of the times.
What about the Perth Cup, the early market?
Well, Tim, in this we have Ideal Cinnamon 11-2, Mirror Magic 11-4, Special Rain 33s, Acquired 8-1, Partners Hope 40-1, Pocomoke City 12-1, Flashing Grey 66, Idle Chat 33, plenty of roughies here, Mountain Oak 25, Top End Grey 33, Veet Faloo 20, Bronze Buck 33, Hot Tuna 50, Keep in Step 200, Mr. Raku 12s, 2 other roughies, Pastoral Rose and Rare Brave, and then down to Red Javelin 6-4. Not much for bookmakers to work with here. The favourite 2 look dominant.
6-4, the favourite so far, Red Javelin. The punters make it a race in 3, Peter. It should be a fantastic 3,200-metre event.
Bernie, 6-4 Red Javelin. That's very short in my book.
It is very short, Peter, but I think he's entitled to be. His form of recent is first class. It's hard to go past him, actually.
Well, each year most people have an opinion on the Perth Cup. This year is no exception. Here's the Perth Cup winner according to the experts and some who aren't exactly qualified in racing.
Red Javelin, I think, can win the race. I think Mirror Magic will be very, very hard to beat.
Red Javelin.
Why?
It's the only one I've heard of.
Well, straight from the horse's mouth, Pocomoke City reckons he's going to win. So I'm going to put a few quid on him.
I like Red Javelin. I think he's had a very good preparation for the race. He's an up-and-coming stayer.
I think Ideal Centreman from Victoria will win the 1992 Winfield Perth Cup.
Because of the weights, I really only think there's Red Javelin in it. It settles nicely in running.
Being a keen punter, I've had a good look at the field as far as the Perth Cup's concerned for 1992, and my favourite is Acquired.
I think Red Javelin seems to be the best bet, but as an outsider, try Andrew Peacock's horse, Idle Chat.
I've always wanted to play in the middle of the game of footy, so I really can't go past Ideal Cinnamon.
Yes, good one, Bluey, one of the best halfbacks in the competition, and he wants to play in the middle. I wonder if Mick Malthouse is watching this afternoon. Well, the jockey with the best record in Perth Cups is Frank Treen, who between 1948 and 1969 rode 5 Perth Cup winners. Here's a look then at the riding career of the great Frank Treen. Francis John Treen, arguably the equal of any rider to have donned the silks in WA racing. It was in 1945, and against his mother's wishes, that Treen commenced a career in the saddle. Some 40 years later, he'd carved his name in racing history. Over 2,000 winners, 8 jockeys' premierships, this supremo of the saddle had achieved it all. In his heyday, he was the punter's pal and king of the cups. The man who once rode a record 6 winners on one program excelled in feature races. Big Race Treen booted home 5 Perth Cup winners, 4 Railway Stakes, 6 WA Derbies, 6 Karrakatta Plates. The list goes on and on. It was in the Cups that he excelled. More than a staggering 80 times did this genius salute the judge when a cup was on offer. Frank Treen, a living legend in the sport of kings. And I'm pleased to say we've got the great Frank Treen as a live guest this afternoon. Frank, you're looking in great nick. We'll have to call you trophies, Treen. Over 80 cups?
You've been pretty lucky, Peter.
What about those 5 Perth Cups?
Yes, I think my first one was in 49 and my last in 69 or something. So in a period of 20 years, I was lucky enough to win 5.
Well, Frank, you're still actively involved in horses. Tell us all about that.
Oh, well, I fix a few horses up now, Peter, you know, as a chiropractor, shoulders and backs and things like that. I see you've got it on a bit of film there. Yeah, they're always getting down in floats or barriers and hurting themselves, you know. They're steamed up on oats pretty well and they're always doing something to themselves.
Well, if you get Dr. Woosher there again, will you make sure you fix him up good and proper?
That horse of yours?
Yeah, he's still a bit of a rogue. OK, Frank, this afternoon's Perth Cup, have you got a thought?
Well, I would say it's in 2. It's a pretty good Quinella, Mirror Magic and Red Javelin. You know, the Cox Plate's a very good guide. And just on the weights that they drop, like you've got Red Javelin, he drops on his Cox Plate weight 10 kilograms, a lot of weight, over 18 pound in the old measurement.
You've got to respect that, don't you?
Well, as I say, it's going to help him stay, isn't it, when you get to that much of him.
Red Javelin ahead of the mare Mirror Magic?
No, definitely not. I've got a big feeling for her. It's a cool day. The way she won the Oaks, although she only drops 2 kilos to what she had in that, it looked to me the way she won, if it had been another half a mile, she would have been still going. She won it very well, but there was excuse the other horse. I see where Ian Albiano said that he had to make 2 runs, and so that's against him and in his favour today too. So luck and running will play a big part, but I think it's between the 2 of them. OK, thanks, Frank, and all the best for the future then. Well, over the past few weeks, Channel 10 has been involved in the bonus bet promotion, which gives punters a chance to win some magnificent prizes with losing betting tickets. Today's the big draw, 2 tickets flying Qantas to London. That's about to take place on course here at Ascot right now. Here's Darren McCauley.
Well, it's a very big moment here at Ascot because now it's time to make the big draw for our Qantas trip for 2 to London to visit Royal Ascot. The legend is here herself, bonus bet. And how about digging into our boot here, a bootload of tickets too, to see who our winner is. There's plenty to choose from.
Okay, it's a great day, isn't it, Darren?
It certainly is.
And the winner is Mrs. H. Riley of Kelmscott.
OK, congratulations to Mrs. Riley of Kelmscott. You're our big winner in the bonus bet competition to England. You'll be going to visit Royal Ascot, courtesy of Qantas, and we certainly hope that you enjoy your trip there. Thanks for being part of what has been a great competition, and to you, bonus bet, as well.
Oh, thank you, and a big kiss to all my bonus bettors out there. It's been great fun.
What a doll. Mrs. Riley, the big winner this afternoon. 2 tickets to London. We'll take this break, come back with more on Cup Day 1992.
Under a middle limit deal. It's LAV2 in front. Magistrate is cutting him down. LAV2 and Magistrate. Magistrate, LAV2, Magistrate.
Albert Harold Jordan, one of racing's most colourful characters and with the best post-war training record in the Perth Cup. Abbo has trained 4 winners of the great race, including back-to-back victories with Veretha in 1957 and 58. In 1963, Jordan combined with Frank Treen to win with Resolution. Add Jordan, a great trainer and an equally great man. Yes, one of the great trainers in Perth Cup history. And on the subject of legends, time for another page in our history of racing. This time it's the great horse Aquanita. He had the look of something special, a nature with a difference, and he had the ability that stood him apart from the rest. His name, Aquanita.
Well, he was a real champion, just like driving a Merc, he was. Just asking for more and more and more, and he kept on giving it.
Reg Trefone handled Aquanita, to 7 wins from 8 starts as a 3-year-old, which included the 59 Railway Stakes. He then headed east, where he was to stamp himself as one of the stars of racing, mixing the sprints with middle distances. As a 5-year-old, Aquanita won the Underwood, George Adams and Futurity.
Well, he beat the best horse in Australia, Sky High, Capelius, Lord. They were all supposed to be champion horses, and he beat a lot of them.
With Tiger Moore back on board, Aquanita, now 6, scored victories in all of Melbourne's big weight for age events, including the Cox Plate and McKinnon Stakes. He was hailed a champion and started second favourite in the 62 Melbourne Cup.
And the horse in front of me fell, and it fell out and caused me nearly to fall as well. A horse called Marco Can, and well, I reckon that cost him what chance he had.
Aquanita was a rare animal, a temperamental beast at times, but a freak on the track. To this day, he remains one of the great WA gallopers. And this afternoon, another horse will enter the history books of WA racing. Let's check this capacity filled in this afternoon's Perth Cup, starting with the grey Ideal Centreman Bernie. He ran third in last year's Cup, and during the year, he won the Adelaide Cup, a proven horse over 3,200.
He is, Peter. Harry White to ride, a great rider over 2 miles. I think his 2 runs here have been disappointing.
Let's go on to number 2 then, Mirror Magic, a 4-year-old mare who won the WA Derby last year. And in the build-up to the Cup, she was very impressive in the Cox Stakes, and Darren McCauley, I guess, 52.5. She doesn't really come into the race well on weights.
Probably not, Peter, but she's a class mare indeed, is Mirror Magic, and she'll be ridden by Troy Jackman, who has the happy knack of being able to settle stayers in 2-mile races. I think she's one of the horses to beat.
Number 3, Special Rain, Bob Taylor and Danny Miller, the combination. Good Belmont form, but he has tapered off after the Belmont season.
Yes, Peter, I think he's probably had enough.
On to number 4, then, Acquired. This is his second attempt at the Perth Cup. He did run 2 years ago. Frank Maynard Jr., the trainer, and Jason Oliver, the rider, and he has disappointed in recent starts, although his weight for age form was okay. On to number 5, Partners Hope, John Gangemi, the trainer, and Darren Hoare, the rider, an outsider, whose form has been just average going into the Cup. On to number 6, Pocomoke City, Wally Mitchell, the trainer, and Paul Dyson, the rider. Winner of the 88 Cup was Wally Mitchell, and Darren, I guess there's a roughie in the field. It could be Pocomoke City.
Bred to stay, Peter. I give him an outside each way chance of finishing in the first 3.
On to number 7, Flashing Grey, Fred Kersley with his first Perth Cup runner here. Jeff Berry, the rider, and it's his first ride in the Cup, but it's difficult to see Flashing Grey playing a part, Bernie.
Yes, Peter, very difficult, but Fred Kersley, a great trainer, and it's quite a possibility that the horse will run a big race for him.
On to number 8, Idle Chat, Michael Tuckey, the trainer, and Dale Watchell, the rider. Raced by Andrew Peacock, the federal parliamentarian. 1 start in Perth, an easy winner over 2,200 metres at Bunbury, and it has raced over 3,100 metres. On to number 9, another Victorian, Mountain Oak, John Sadler, the trainer, and Paul Harvey, the rider. A Victorian galloper at home on both the flat and over the hurdles, unplaced over 3,200 metres in 2 attempts on the Cup distance. Let's move on to number 10, another grey, top-end grey, Cliff Smith and Brad Ball, the combination, a 7-year-old who looks outclassed here. Number 11 is Feet Ballou, Ross Price and Jason Brown, the young apprentice jockey, with a big opportunity this afternoon for young Jason. Feet Ballou's form in lead-up races has been good. A last start second to Pocomoke City, and then it was a 4th in a Towton Cup and 3rd in the Tats Cup. On to number 12, Bronze Buck, Fred Castledine, the trainer. He's had success already here today, and he did win the 1979 Perth Cup with Meliador. And David Rudland, the rider, on board, as you can see. He won on Golden Centre in 1978. On to number 13 is Hot Tuner, Wally Mitchell, one of 2 runners for Mitchell. And this horse, with a late riding change, will be ridden now by Laurie Millington, who replaces Noel Rudland. Let's move on to 14 then, Keep in Step. Let's hope the camera can do that. Yes, it has. Trevor Andrews, the young boom trainer, and Sean O'Donnell, the combination, but does look outclassed here. Number 15, Mr. Raku, M. Patton and Jim Taylor. And Darren, I guess it's a good lightweight chance in the Cup.
Mr. Raku, I thought, was a very good run behind Mirror Magic in the Cox Stakes, and his form has been reasonable in the weight for age races. If he can see out the 2 mile, I thought he was an outside chance.
On the number 16, Pastoral Rose, the mare, little Maria Hunter, with a big opportunity this afternoon. She'll take the ride on Pastoral Rose. Let's move on to number 17, Rare Brave, looks outclassed in his company. Reg Raymond, the trainer, and George Davies, the rider, and number 18, the pre-post favourite, 6-4 in the last check in the bookmakers ring. This is Red Javelin, Alan McPherson, and the champion Michael Clark on board here, going for a feature race double in the Carnival, Darren.
Yes, of course, he won the Railway in sensational style on the Ladies' Duel, and he'll relax this horse without any problems. Red Javelin is the one to beat.
Bernie, your thoughts on Red Javelin?
Personally, Peter, I think he's an exciting horse, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him win this race by 4 or 5 lengths.
That's the field of 18 then to contest the $200,000 Group 1 Perth Cup. The race will get underway in just under 10 minutes. We'll take this break and then come back with more on Cup Day 1992.
But Elliott in front, he's going away over him, Fortune. Well back to Rent and Raven, Gypsy Blood. But Elliott coming away to give Johnny Miller his first Perth Cup.
And back at Ascot, runners on their way to the 3,200-metre barrier. The start of the Perth Cup a short time ago. Chairman of Stewards, as you can see there, Finn Powery addressed the 18 jockeys involved in the Perth Cup. What was said, Bernie?
Well, Mr. Farrow will be telling the boys that he wanted a cleanly run race, no interference if possible, and anyone that does interfere will be severely dealt with.
I guess, too, he might be looking for a bit of pace in the Cup.
I think he would be, and generally the Cup has, in the past, a horse has been able to make a bit of pace, it makes it a lot better for the runners that drop out early.
So the 18 jockeys in address then by the chairman of the Stipes, Finn Parry. Let's check the betting as far as the tape punters are concerned on the Winfield Perth Cup. 3,200 metres the journey, and we'll check to see if Mirror Magic and Red Javelin are still the favourites. Mirror Magic is showing at the present time an even $2. Ideal Centreman $3.15 and Pocomoke City at $6.15. Let's cross the page then, and a fairly rough lot there with Idle Chat at $13.90. Mountain Oak $12.75, and down the bottom Keep and Step better than $100. And number 18 Red Javelin, the ruling favourite for TAB and Tape Punters at $1.65. Any change in the bookmakers ring, Tim?
Well, Peter, there's a lot of people in the bookmakers ring, as there is a lot of people around here. It's very much standing room only. Don't be seated because you won't see a thing. Frank Wright, in the bookmakers ring, it really looks a racing too, and that's the way the punters see it.
Well, they're sticking with the two horses on form. They should run 1-2. There's not much depth. The outsiders are staying in the market because of the volume of small punters, just keeping them in the market with $200 to 1 bets. But going to the board, Tim, Ideal Sentiment remains at 11-2. Mirror Magic into 5-2. Special Rain 40s. Acquired 8-1. Partners Hope 40-1. Pocomoke City steady at 12-1. The rest of the chances not very much wanted and staying at the same price, down to Mr. Raku 14s, and the favourite Red Javelin, who was 7-4 earlier in the day, now 6-4.
So 6-4, the favourite Red Javelin, Peter, and the runners are behind the barrier.
Right, thanks, Tim. As you said, the runners are at the barrier. The man in charge of ensuring a good even dispatch is Harold Boy Hutchison, a long-time starter of the WA Turf Club.
Right, they're all in, riders.
Just tell the riders they're all in riders and just let them go.
Harold Boy Hutchison, who today starts a Perth Cup for the 21st time.
You don't really have much trouble with big races. I think everybody's pretty keen, you know. Jockeys are keen to get in, they're keen to get away.
He's known simply as Boy to the racing fraternity. His working life has been spent on the race course.
Once the horse is reined up, he gets nervous too, you see. And he sort of jumps at the front, and you've got to wait for him to settle, and another one jumps out there. And so the quicker you get to start after you've what's done is always the best.
What pleasure do you get when you push that button?
See them all jump as one? It's beautiful.
And no doubt he'll be aiming for that this afternoon as Boy, as you can see, starting to call these runners up. They do go in groups of 5 as we check the race diagram for this 3,200 metres. It's regarded as one of the toughest 3,200 metres in the country, the Perth Cup. They come up the hill twice, and Bernie Saratov holds the race record. In 1989, the 5-year-old mare ran the journey in 3:16.8. Tell us about the Perth Cup.
Yes, Peter, well, the Perth Cup generally is run very fast in the first half mile. They'll probably run their first half mile in 48 and a half seconds. The second half mile they slow down, and the third half mile is the slowest, and they usually come home their last half in about 49.
When do you make your move?
Well, depending how the race is run and where you're running and what sort of a horse you're on at the time, you're looking to be moving at the 700 metres.
OK, Bernie, let's put you on the spot then. Who do you like in this afternoon's cup?
Well, Peter, I would love to be riding Red Javelin, and I think Mr. Raku is the best outsider.
So the expert then going for Red Javelin, the favourite at 6-4 on the tote. Ideal Centre Man is now showing $3.25. The mare Mirror Magic $1.90, and Red Javelin is the firm favourite on the tote, $1.60. Standing by is Darren McCauley. There's Ideal Centre Man with the champion Melbourne jockey Harry White. He's ridden 4 Melbourne Cups. He's been to Perth 5 times, yet to win a Perth Cup, although he's never finished out of the money in 5 attempts in Perth. Well, standing by is Darren McCauley. Darren, good luck with your call then of the 1992 Perth Cup.
Thank you indeed, Peter. Last of them about to move in, Ideal Sentiment, Pocomoke City, Red Javelin and Partners Hope, the grey mare. In fact, it's one of about 5 grey gallopers contesting the Winfield Perth Cup for 1992. Partners Hope and Red Javelin are about to move in. Rare Brave is set. Capacity field of 18 runners. The imported mare Idle Chat being ridden by Bill Watchell, wearing the colours of the great mare Leilani, Caulfield Cup winner from back in the mid-70s. Now Partners Hope will complete the line in the Cup. Just waiting for Ideal Sentiment, drawn wide out to move in. Mr. Raku is set. The grey almost white Mountain Oak standing in there quietly. Along with Keep in Step, the mare Mirror Magic. Pastoral Rose and Rare Brave are set. Bronze Buck drawn handily as the starter climbs to the ladder. About to run in the Perth Cup. Stand by for a start. All gates are filled. The lights on. Should jump at any tick. Racing in the Cup. Idle Chat missed it slightly from the inside. Ideal Sentiment, Keep in Step. Pastoral Rose are gathering speed. So's Pocomoke City coming across on the outside, but no one's really keen to lead at the end of 200. And the imported mare Idle Chat, joined by Pastoral Rose and Hot Tuna, made a line of 3. Flashing Grey settling kindly on the inside. Getting across from out wide is Ideal Sentiment between horses Special Rain. A length away Pocomoke City, followed by Veet Faloo. Then came Top End Grey. Red Javelin getting across into a lovely spot on the inside for Clark, ahead of Rare Brave and Keep in Step. 1 to acquired, a length and a half to Mirror Magic. They're being followed by Bronze Buck and Mr. Raku. Mountain Oak, and last of all is Partners Hope, 25 lengths off the leader, Pastoral Rose. The roughie leads them down to the home turn the first time. 2,400 metres to go. She's reefing and tearing. Pastoral Rose in front, a half length over Hot Tuna at the leader's girth. A length and a half to Idle Chat on the inside of Ideal Sentiment, beautifully placed by White. Then Special Rain coasting along for Miller just off the speed. Flashing Grey next over on the inside. They're being closely followed by Pocomoke City. On the fence to Veet Faloo. Off the fence is Red Javelin. A length away to Rare Brave, being followed by Keep in Step, covering ground 3 deep around Top End Grey. The Quiet hugging the rail. A length and a half to Mirror Magic, settling beautifully back in the field. On the inside is Bronze Buck, Mr. Raku. Mountain Oak and Partners Hope brings up the tail of the field in the Cup as they go to the Matheson Road side of the course. Approaching the crossing at the 1800. Hot Tuna's been allowed to go to the front by Millington, and with his ears pricked he takes up the role of pacemaker. Hot Tuna by a length over Pastoral Rose. 1 to Ideal Sentiment third. Idle Chat on the inside is running fourth, being closely followed on the outside by Special Rain. Then came Flashing Grey over on the inside, getting a nice run. He's been closely followed by Pocomoke City midfield around Veet Faloo. Then came Red Javelin just off the speed. Acquired is next. It's been an evenly run Cup. They're being followed by Keep in Step, who's been wide for most of the trip. Rare Brave between horses. A length and a half to Mirror Magic. They're being followed on the inside by Bronze Buck, and 2 lengths away to Mr. Raku. Mountain Oak, and still last of all is Partners Hope. Along the Swan River side, back to where they started at the 1200. And White's gone for home on Ideal Sentiment. Ideal Sentiment race to a clear lead here in the Cup by a length over Special Rain. On the inside, Hot Tuna's giving ground. They're being followed by Idle Chat, who's going around them fast, being followed by Veet Faloo. 1 to Pastoral Rose. Then came Pocomoke City, Flashing Grey behind them. Clark's about to take Red Javelin to the outside from Acquired. Rare Brave, Keep in Step, Mirror Magic held up momentarily, but now she's getting a run at the 600.
A length away to Bronze Buck and Mr. Raku, well back. Top end grey, Mountain Oak and Partners Hope at the 550. Ideal Sentiment joined and headed by the grey Beat Baloo. Beat Baloo raced to the lead at the 450 on the turn. He got away by a length over Pocomoke City. Special Rain, Ideal Sentiment flat to the boards. Then came Red Javelin starting to wind up under hard riding, and Mirror Magic's coming with a brilliant run. Around the turn, Beat Baloo, the ghostly grey first behind Pocomoke City, coming at him in hot pursuit. Red Javelin, here comes Mirror Magic at the 200. Beat Baloo clear. Red Javelin, Mirror Magic, inch by inch are getting to Beat Baloo. Mirror Magic, Red Javelin come together. Red Javelin, Mirror Magic now heading front, and Mirror Magic's going to win the cup. Mirror Magic a half length, Red Javelin a length to Beat Baloo third, acquired fourth, and Bronze Buck was running on. Rare Brave and Mr. Raku behind them ahead of Mountain Oak, top end grey. Further back to Flashing Grey, Pocomoke City weakening on the run from Hot Tuna. Idle Chat, Special Rain, well back to Partners Hope, Pastoral Rose, Ideal Sentiment second last, and Keep and Step is last of all in the Cup of 92.
Let's check those placings then in the 1992 Cup. And Mirror Magic, trained by Alan Matthews, ridden by Troy Jackman, has won from Red Javelin, the favourites finish, and Outsiders got up to run third, Beat Faloo. A second Perth Cup for Alan Matthews, who's standing by right now with Tim Gossage.
You have an amazing record in this Perth Cup over the last 3 years, and does this give you any greater thrill?
Yes, it definitely gets better as it goes along. Very special to me, this horse. I think word of honour, we couldn't believe it for a few days, but when you had 12, 18 months to think about it, you appreciate this a lot more.
The punters thought, and many people for many weeks thought it was a Red Javelin Mirror Magic clash. It turned that way, but you got the finish. You must be extremely happy.
Yeah, very, very, very pleased. I couldn't. You just can't believe it unless you're there yourself. Yeah.
What about Troy Jackman's ride, Alan?
Can't fault it. 2 out of 3 is pretty good.
Congratulations, and no doubt we'll see you next year.
I hope so.
So what a marvellous record Alan Matthews is building as a trainer now, particularly of stayers. And along with Troy Jackman, they make it 2 cups in 3 years. They won 2 years ago with Word of Honour. The same horse ran second last year, but in 1992, as Troy gives the mare a nice pat, well-deserved pat there. And Mirror Magic is our cup winner for this year. We'll take this break, come back with more at Ascot on Cup Day. And welcome back, everyone. Troy Jackman dismounting with the mare Mirror Magic, the winner of the 1992 Perth Cup. And I guess it's all credit to Jackman, a great ride. He did track Clark on Red Javelin there. And you go back a year or so, Jackman did tip to the owner, John Chalmers, that this horse was a likely Perth Cup contender after she won the allegation quality as a 3-year-old. So Troy Jackman's judgment's been spot on, Bernie.
Yes, Peter, very good. And it's his second Perth Cup winner. He won the Cup back on 2 years ago on Word of Honour.
OK, 23-year-old Troy Jackman. Another birthday as Troy about to pick something up, and he's ready to talk with Tim. And Tim, this is becoming habit.
Certainly is becoming habit. I've spoken to Troy Jackman many a time in the same position. And Troy, you did tip this horse a long time ago.
Yes, you know, she's just a real stayer. She's so relaxed and running, and when you ask her to go, she just puts it all together.
What about her? You got off the scales after the Cox Stakes and said she was unbeatable.
That's right. You know, she just went straight past him last start. And, you know, I knew she had a lot of improvement in her, and, you know, today I'm glad I was right and she won.
Is there something in your Wheaties? Because you always fire up around this time of year.
I just love riding. I love the pressure. You know, I just always want to win.
Congratulations again, Troy.
Thank you.
So well done to Troy Jackman, and what a great mare she is. It's been a season of the mares. We saw Let's Elate in Melbourne during the Carnival win the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup double, and now in Perth, Mirror Magic has won the Perth Cup as correct weight has sounded, and a placing's official then. Number 2, Mirror Magic, the winner. From number 18, Red Javelin, you'll find third was number 11, Beat Faloo, and back in 4th place was number 4, Acquired. Let's talk about this mare then, Mirror Magic. What a bonny mare she is.
She's been a great mare, Peter, and Alan Matthews has done a tremendous job with her. Like, for a horse to win the Derby and then come out and win the Perth Cup the year after as a 4-year-old, it's a big effort.
3:21.73 the time, Benny. There wasn't a lot of pace on early, was there?
No, it surprised me. Actually, it was fairly slowly run early, and which is not normal for a Perth Cup, but I think on the day, the best stayer did win the race.
OK, thank you then, Bernie. Mirror Magic, raced by John Chalmers, also Wally Hanna, who's a prolific winner of big races here in Perth, and H.J. Triggs, and one of the owners is standing by to talk with Tim.
I have Harley Triggs with me, and Harley, your own case start to win a group race, but this must far outweigh that.
Oh, certainly, Tim. This is probably the best racing day of my life. It is without a doubt. I thought when she won the Derby, that was exciting. You lose your voice in this sort of race. But to win the Perth Cup is unbelievable. And the whole family are here, and the celebrations will carry on for a long time.
So Bonnie Mare and a big future ahead, do you think?
I think so, yes. The credit must go, of course, to Alan Matthews, the trainer, and Troy Jackman, who rode a beautifully timed race. We didn't want to get into any trouble. But yes, it looks like we're off to Sydney if she can stand up to that, a short spell in the paddock for the BMW Tancred and the Sydney Cup.
You couldn't get down here quick enough. You're pushing your way through the crowd.
I could not get through the crowd from up there. This is an enormous crowd here today, which is good for racing.
So a big thrill and plenty of celebrations?
I would say there are lots of celebrations and a big thrill too.
A very excited Harley Triggs, Peter Ensel.
Yes, thank you, Tim. And as we mentioned, Wally Hanna as well, a part owner of that horse, and is John Chalmers. The totes then on the Perth Cup, and we seem to have lost him, but I think you'll find Mirror Magic has paid about $1.90 for memory. Veet Faloo and Red Javelin filling the placings. Red Javelin 85 cents and Veet Faloo $3.25. The backup on the board there, $1.90 the winner and 90 about Mirror Magic, and that was a great performance by the mare, Darren.
I think the most outstanding aspect of this mare, Peter, is her wonderful turn of foot at the end of distance races. That's the determining factor between average and outstanding stayers, and she obviously has the credentials now to possibly contest a Melbourne Cup when you need to have that explosive turn of foot over the gruelling 3,200 metres.
Yes, she's headed east end for the Autumn Carnival initially, and maybe then in the spring to Melbourne. Mirror Magic, the winner of the 1992 Perth Cup. We'll take this break, then wrap up on Cup Day. Mentioned a huge crowd on course at Ascot, and they came to see the Perth Cup for 1992. Let's relive the closing stages.
Headed by the grey Veet Faloo. Veet Faloo raced to the lead at the 450 on the turn. He got away by a length over Pocomoke City. Special Rain, Ideal Sentiment flat to the boards. Then came Red Javelin starting to wind up under hard riding, and Mirror Magic's coming with a brilliant run. Around the turn, Veet Faloo, the ghostly grey first behind Pocomoke City, coming at him in hot pursuit. Red Javelin, here comes Mirror Magic at the 200. Veet Faloo clear. Red Javelin, Mirror Magic, inch by inch are getting to Veet Faloo. Mirror Magic, Red Javelin come together. Red Javelin, Mirror Magic will head in front, and Mirror Magic's going to win the cup. Mirror Magic a half length, Red Javelin a length to Veet Faloo third, acquired fourth, and Bronze Buck.
And congratulations to Darren McCauley, and no doubt congratulations going on in the presentation area with the presentation of the Perth Cup. Mirror Magic, just checking those totes, $1.90 and 90. Second, Red Javelin 85 cents, and third, Veet Faloo 3.25. Quinella $2.55. Let's look to the future, and prospective Perth Cup winners go on sale next month at the Goodwood Bloodstock Yearling Sale in February. Early today, Darren spoke with Murray Tillett from Goodwood.
Murray, you must have been delighted to have offered the Perth Cup favourite Red Javelin at the sale some years ago.
Yes, we were, Darren, particularly in light of the fun and excitement the O'Hara family have had out of this horse, because that's what thoroughbred racing is all about.
Well, with the sales about to commence around Australasia very soon, how do you see the market going?
It'll be a tough year, Darren. The economy, as everyone knows, is in a bit of a dilemma, but we're very delighted with the catalogue that we've got. We've got brothers to Heroicity who won the Derby. We've got a brother to Lady Kariba who won the Karrakatta Plate, and it really is probably our strongest ever catalogue, so we're hopeful of a good year.
Have a great day at the Perth Cup, Murray.
Thanks, Darren.
And that sale takes place next month. There's Alan Matthews about to accept the trophy with Troy Jackman. Well, it's been a magnificent summer carnival, culminated today with the Perth Cup. Let's have a look at some of the highlights of the last 4 weeks racing.
Stalls open, they're off at racing. Pastoral Rose, Red Javelin. Under Mirror Magic, travelling outside of Acquired. And Mirror Magic, the Derby winner's coming away with a great win. They're racing, and Herosity bounded away down towards the inside. Herosity raced to the front now. The favourite took the lead in the Derby. Racing, and a near perfect start too. And the Ladies' Jewel comes away under hard riding from Clark to win. Racing in the Cup. Idle Jack missed it slightly from the inside. Ideal Sentiment.
And gentlemen, we'll remember this carnival for a long time. Darren, been a pleasure working with you. Bernie, all the best for 1992. We've had great fun over the last fortnight presenting the racing from Ascot, but for now it's good afternoon.